Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time I'm going to be reviewing a new Build-A-Figure from the Black Widow Marvel Legends series. It's going to be Crimson Dynamo. So I was very excited about this new Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure overall. I'm a fan of, what I consider Iron Man villains, and kind of the classic Iron Man villains in my head are the Mandarin, Ironmonger, Crimson Dynamo, and Titanium Man. So very excited to get a Crimson Dynamo one here. Still looking forward to a Titanium Man one eventually, though. But yeah, let's go over it. So overall, was looking forward to this Build-A-Figure. The wave as a whole, character-wise, really appealed to me, so I had no problems buying the whole wave to complete the Build-A-Figure overall, with the exception of Spy Master. I just bought his Build-A-Figure piece. But overall, starting off, when we first were shown this Build-A-Figure, I was worried that, a lot of it was just going to be kind of a rehash of some previous Build-A-Figures, because the legs are very clearly recognizable as the legs that can be seen for a few Build-A-Figures. It started off with Ironmonger, and they are contributed to the shield droids here. So as you can see, exactly the same, nothing's different on it whatsoever, other than paint, obviously. But overall, that is the only piece that's reused from what I can tell, which is nice. That's something that I was not expecting. I figured that the bottom torso and maybe some of the arms would be reused as well, but they're not. They're a new sculpt, which is awesome. I'm very happy about that. With the legs really being the only thing that's reused, it allows the figure to still stay very fresh, even though the legs are very familiar, of course. But starting off with the head sculpt, I think it looks very cool. This is an interesting take on Crimson Dynamo. Obviously with a suit kind of character, there's usually a lot of different versions, and Crimson Dynamo has a lot of different versions that they could have gone with. This is something a little bit more bulky, which is quite neat. I think that it has an interesting look. Crimson Dynamo is one of those characters that sometimes his suits are just kind of like slightly bigger than your average person, and then some are kind of like Ironmonger sized. Then they went with a little more Ironmonger type version, which I think is cool. Face sculpt is nice. I like the visor. Very impressed with the articulation on the head, to be honest. He's got a ball jointed at the bottom of the neck as well as at the top, so that allows for some extra articulation. That's a little unusual for Marvel Legends, I must say. I do like that a lot. The shoulder pads are huge. They offer a lot of bulk, and they are just kind of on two pegs, so they can be rotated up and allow for articulation. They don't really hinder, which is very nice as well. And then the overall design of his armor is just kind of that line look, very comic-like. If you want to show robotic limbs, you just put lines in it, and I think that's kind of neat. It's very comic-y, and the paint that they use is really nice. They use a bit of a silver here, which has almost like a pearlescent effect. As you move it, it shines in different places. It actually looks really nice. I'm pretty much a pretty big fan of that. I think it looks really good. The red that they went with is very interesting too. It's like a dark burgundy. It's kind of a reddish brown, which I think fits the design of the character quite nicely. The crack sections in the armor looks cool. Almost looks like it's made out of stone in some places, which is neat. I do like the kind of repulsor back piece here. It looks really cool. That's actually a separate piece as well. I was surprised to see that wasn't just attached, on the figure itself. And then the kind of wrist gauntlets here have like these tubes of liquid. It looks very interesting. I definitely like that a lot. And then the hands are very oversized. Very comic looking, but I think it looks awesome. And I'm a fan of the colors, just the kind of the dull colors of the reddish brown popped with the silver, and the kind of pearlescent silver just adds for a good look. I like it a lot. And articulation is great. Went over the head articulation already. He's got ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel. His single hinge elbows, but they hinge pretty nicely. And then he's got hinge swivel wrist, ball jointed upper torso with great range. Great side to side. Back is very nice. Front is great as well. Ball jointed thighs, which can hinge in and out quite a far amount, with a swivel at the thigh, double hinge knees, and then hinge pivoting ankles, but that also has a hinge on it as well overall. So overall, articulation is quite good. I've had a lot of fun with this Build-A-Figure. I really have. I've done a lot of poses. I busted out like a pretty classic looking Iron Man and took a lot of cool fun photos and pictures with this one, because he looks cool. He's got a great comic look. It just screams comic-like, and he's just looks awesome overall. This is the type of Build-A-Figure that I do really enjoy. If they're not going to go with the movie Build-A-Figure, I like bulky ones, and especially if they're going to go with a cool, Marvel villain. that's perfect for me. So I'm a big fan of this Build-A-Figure. It's actually nicer than I expected it to be. I was looking forward to it, but not like to an extreme amount. But getting it in person and fully building it, it's quite nice. It's really good. I like the size, I like the bulk, and the overall figure is quite good with better articulation than I expected as well, which is always a nice surprise. But there you go. That's my thoughts on this new Build-A-Figure from the Black Widow Marvel Legends wave. This time of Crimson Dynamo. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.